Hello friends, welcome to Apex Chess Academy. I am feeding instructor Hemal Thanki, and today's our topic is exchange sacrifice. In fact, a strategical exchange sacrifice. So normally there are two types of exchange sacrifice. One is tactical one and the strategical one. Tactical one is not difficult. Actually, you have given some exchange and you're getting benefit immediately with some tactical skill or tactical blow. Then we can say it's a tactical exchange sacrifice. And when you are giving exchange for a long-term compensation, that kind of exchange sacrifice is known as strategical exchange sacrifice. So today's our topic is strategical exchange sacrifice, and it's the part one. Okay, so we can directly start with the position as well, but for the blind players, we'll start with the initial position, and for first few moves, we'll just go quickly because we just directly reach to that particular topic. And this game is between El Ami versus Anton Smirnov, and the game is from Tata Steel Challenger 2020. Yes, it's just a yesterday's game, and it was a really nice to show this game because it's a really beautiful game played by Alamy. Okay, so the game starts with queen's pawn d4, d5, c4, c6, knight f3, knight f6, e3. A very popular system. Now there are mainly three moves: e6, bishop f5, and bishop g4. Smirnov choose bishop g4. Now queen b3, queen b6, knight e5, attacking the bishop, bishop f5, cd5. And this is very unique basically because after cd5, queen into b3, a into b3, and you'll see my future videos based on this. This is known as the voluntarily pawn structure damage. Basically, white has voluntarily damaged its own pawn structure. So this topic is very unique, and I'm going to cover it in our future videos as well. Okay, so after a b3, knight into d5, and now bishop d3, bishop d3, knight into d3, and the position looks like complete equal. But here as well, Alamy has just outplayed his 2600 plus opponent. Let's see. Knight a6, bishop d2, just controlling b4, e6, increasing control on the b4 square, king e2, and here probably knight a b4 gives a pure equality, but here bishop e7 was played. Okay, so what are the trumps from both sides here? In fact, white's main idea is to play e4 in future here, and white want to put his knight on c4. So that's what white started with the move knight a3, short castle, and knight c4. And here it was the first mistake by black, and black played c4, which looks very logical because you want to eliminate one central pawn of your opponent, and then finally you will have opponent's two double pawn as a weakness. So here you can just pause the video and try to find out the best move as white. Okay, friends, if you have find this move, then of course you have a very good caliber to become a very strong player. Yes, so the correct move is rook into a6. Now first of all, let's understand this move, why rook into a6 is very strong. First of all, what you are going to achieve after rook into a6, pawn into, and d into c5. So the first thing you achieved is connected pass pawn, because now the c5 pass pawn is so strong, which is going to be protected by his b pawn. So the c5 and b4 becomes a very strong pass pawn. c4 knight is in fact a very strong on c4 because white gets an outpost because there is no pawn which can kick our knight on c4. So the second plus point here is strong knight on c4 which cannot be kicked away. Another point, you are going to have a semi-open A file that your rook can occupy in future. Moreover, when opponent has two rooks, but if you won't give any open file or the semi-open file to have an access on that, so there is no use of that rooks, right? So here black has two rooks, but the point is the B and C file, which is semi-open file, but that rooks are totally helpless on that B and C file. D file is open file, but our both pieces, knight on d3, bishop on d2, or maybe even the bishop on c3, or king on e2, which controls d3, d2, d1. D4 pawn is, D4 square is again controlled by E3. So all these three files B, C, and D are, it's open or semi-open, but black cannot take advantage of this. And this is what something very unique, despite of three semi-open files, or the open file, one open file and two semi-open files, black cannot take advantage of it. And this was a very unique way to give this action sacrifice, and that's why this rook a6 is a very strong move. And after ba6 dc5, white demonstration was just awesome. So let's go through the game again. So after dc5, rook fc8, just attacking the c5 weak pawn. And after this, will white played b4, just defending this asset on c5. Now f6. Okay, and now white played e4, just kicking out this d5 knight, because it is the only good piece in black's camp. Now knight c7. Now bishop c3, gradually improving our bishop on d2. So now it's on c3, and white's idea is to play e5 in future. Well, we'll see, because by playing e5 actually you are weakening the d5 square, and then knight can come back to d5 in future. But we'll see how we can do this and when we can do this. Now knight b5, take the c3 bishop. But of course, we are not worried about this bishop, because anyhow our all pawns are on the light dark squares, and that's why it's not good for black to take on c3, and that's why we play rook a1. So we are immediately attacking the a6 pawn, and if we get the second pawn, then material wise it will be level, and then e6 will be weak pawn, and the ace on pawn is also a weak pawn. So we'll of course gradually improving our grip. So it is necessary for black to defend the a6 pawn with rook c6. And now we'll see this fact that this knight is on b5, which is not occupying d5 immediately. So black has to go back with knight c7 on knight d5 if white plays e5. And here is this the correct time to play e5, because something is weak, but if no one is going to exploit it, we can't say it is weak, right? So after e5, if black want to achieve the d5 square with the knight c7, but the problem is the c6 rook, because if you try to play, for example, say knight c7, we can immediately play knight a5 and the rook is trapped. So there is no way to occupy the d5 square. If let's say rook is trying to occupy the d5 square with rook d8, still white can play f4, rook d5, and now we can just play knight to d6, and this rook on d5 looks very silly, because it's not doing anything immediately. Okay, so this is possible, but still white has a very strong advantage. And that's why on move number 21, after e5, black played the move bishop d8. And after bishop d8, black's intention is to put bishop on c7 and put pressure on e5 pawn. So here we can start with two moves actually, in fact. So in game knight d6 was played, but I feel there is something better as compared to knight d6. Although knight d6 is still winning for white, but if you can find the better move, you can just pause the video and try to find out this move. Okay, yes. So here we can see that this d6 square is weak, and we can occupy this d6 square immediately with the knight d6. That's what played in game. Or you can just play the move knight c1, a very beautiful move, trying to occupy the d6 square with the second knight, in fact. So the point is, we just want to play knight b3 next move, then knight a5, where we are attacking the rook on c6. So the a6 pawn feels very unsafe after knight a5, and then If the rook goes somewhere else, then knight b7 and knight d6. And if rook goes to c7, then the c4 knight goes to d6 and the a5 knight comes to c4. And both knights will occupy a very beautiful square d6 and c4 by this way. So this knight c1, which I particularly like, well, in this game, knight d6 was played, which is also good enough. Now knight b8, f4, just increasing our grip on the dark squares. So now you can see black is exchange up, but what to do with these rooks where both rooks are not playing at all. So after f4, h5, g3, knight c7, and finally this knight comes to d5. And but okay, only one knight is on a d5, and that too we can exchange whenever we want by playing say knight e1, knight c2, knight e3, or we can maneuver our knight, say knight e1, knight c2, and knight d4. You are attacking only my b4 pawn while I am attacking your rook on c6 and the e6 pawn. So after knight c7, here king e3 was played, although I would still say that knight e1, knight d5, knight c2. So we are defending the b4 pawn, which black is attacked with the knight d5, and we are preparing knight d4 next move, where we are going to attack the c6 rook and the e6 pawn, so which is good enough. But in game, king e3 was played, which is also a good move. Now f5, just releasing the tension here, and of course knight d5 simply is made by king d4. So here king d4 is still possible, and whenever knight d5 comes, we can play bishop d2, and which was transposed because white played bishop d2 here, and once black played king f8, king d4, and now whenever knight d5 comes, it will be same as the previous king d4. But okay, here in game, black played g6, and now here you can find again the best move for white. Okay, so here white has played the move knight e1. So again you may think about this move, same move, knight c1, with the similar idea of knight b3, knight a5, or knight b3, king d3, knight d4. But okay, knight e1 was played, and the idea is very similar. Okay, now knight b5 check, knight into b5, a into b5, rook into a7, and now white got the second pawn. So material wise it's level, but again if you see the quality of the pieces, rook on a7 is far better than its both rooks. Bishop on d8 has no scope at all in the whole board, while our bishop on d2 is also looks bad little bit. But the point is, when we'll achieve the knight on d4, black's position will be collapsed, because the e6 pawn is not supported with the rook anymore. If you achieve knight d4, the b5 pawn is also supported with the rook. So what is rook's duty? Just to support the pawns? No, of course the rook has to be active, and that's why here black played rook cc8 with the idea of rook 8 next move. Okay, so at least try to eliminate this strong rook from the board. And here white played knight c2, where you can even consider some move like knight f3, which is also good enough. But okay, knight c2 was played. Now rook 8, and here black tried to exchange this one pair of rook and try to activate his another rook on a file and try to penetrate with the a file. Just go to h1, take h2, like this. So here white played rook d7, and here our knight on c2 is doing a great job because it won't allow his rook to come on a1. Okay, now bishop e7, improving his bishop somewhat and preparing king e8 to attack the rook in fact. And here we want our knight on d4, and that's why our king is basically being a hurdle for the knight. So we are playing first king e3 and preparing knight d4. And of course white has something in mind, because whenever you are playing knight d4, this rook will come to a1, and when the rook comes to a1, it will go to h1 and then take on h2. So once if you want to play h4, then this g3 pawn becomes little bit unsafe, and whenever the g3 is unsafe, that's why this king e3 is more important as compared to king d3 or king c3. So king e3 is more precise move as compared to king d3 or king c3, because king e3 will help this g3 pawn to be safe. So after king e3, king e8, and here you can pause the video and try to find out the best move for white. So if white don't want to exchange his rook with this rook, then white can avoid the move rook b7, because rook b7 means black can play rook a b8, and if you go rook a7, then again that same rook can come to a8. So here white played another beautiful move. Yes, so our topic is exchange sacrifice, and this game is based on double exchange sacrifice. Here, here white played a beautiful move, a totally spectacular move, rook d6. I mean, a beautiful move. White's idea is to play rook e6 next move, and another move which we are going to play is knight d4, where we are putting pressure on b5 and d6. And what if black takes on d6? It looks like okay, we are exchanging this rook with the bad bishop. Yes, it's true, but in return, what white is getting? White is improving his pawn structure. We are making another pass pawn, and we are improving our dark square bishop too, because all the dark squares are weak. In fact, after ed6, so bishop d6, for example, ed6, now we have access of this e5 square for our knight, either with the move knight d4. Now we are attacking the b5, we are preparing knight e6, we are preparing c6, we are preparing knight f3, knight e5, and this d2 bishop will go to c3, or if we take the b5 pawn, then we move our knight back, try to play b5 and bishop b4, c6 and d7. So this I mean, lots of threats are there here. So after ed6, black try to block this pawns on light square with this move, but one knight is a very strong piece which can simply don't allow this king to block this pawns. So white immediately start with the move knight d4, attacking the b5 pawn. Now rook a2, bishop c3, and now rook a1. Okay, so here as well you can't defend this pawn with the move rook b8, because at least we have knight f3 and knight e5 check, where after knight f3, knight e5 check, we can just play one c6, gradually we'll play bishop d4, improving our bishop c5, d7 check, and we'll simply win a pawn, or win either rook or just make a queen. So here after bishop c3, black tried very active move rook a1, but still here white played knight into b5. Now white has three connected pass pawn, and I think once we move our knight back and we achieve b5, the game is over. Okay, so here rook h1 was played, and now h4. Okay, so okay, it is possible for white to play knight d4 as well, and once black takes rook h2, you can just start with move knight f3, attacking the rook, and if rook g2, knight e5 check, king moves, and b5. And still, you see, you can't take c5 because of rook a5 check, and then next move is d7 and d8 queen. So this knight d4 move on move number 39 is also winning after rook h1, but here white chooses a safe way, and which was h4, which is also good enough, because after h4 now the only weak pawn is g3, and if you place a rook g1, then king f2 gaining time. After rook d1, white comes back to d4, and next move again we are playing king e2. So because we have all the time of the world, so just after knight d4, rook a8, because that rook is not doing any job, so that rook has to be activated with rook a8. Still after king e2, rook g1, and now you can again pause the video and try to find out the best move here. White played the move b5, because now anymore this g3 pawn is not at all necessary, because even if black takes g3, black has no pass pawn at all. And after b5 we have three connected pass pawns. Our idea is to defend the d6 pawn with the move bishop b4, and then next move is c6 check, and then try to play knight e6, and then d7 and d8 queen, and which cannot be stopped. And okay, game played for few more moves, 2 3 moves. For example, rook g3, bishop b4, rook g2 check, king d3, rook into b2. But now we can sacrifice our bishop after c6 check, king c8, and the move knight into e6, because rook b4 is simply made by d7 check, and after king b8 we can just make queen, and that's why here black resigned. What a beautiful game it was. It's just a strategical action sacrifice, and not just a single action sacrifice, it's a dual action sacrifice. And the way the LME has played this game is really fantastic. So hope you enjoyed this video based on strategical action sacrifice. Thank you friends, stay tuned for the future videos, and if you really like my videos, please subscribe to my channel and click on the notification window for the future videos as well. Thank you friends, thank you very much.